This video was made possible by the EA Game Changers. Alrighty guys, so welcome back to my channel today, and we are doing a brand new Sims 4 Create a Sim video today. And so today is definitely one of those days where I can finally sit down, chit chat, and talk about a thing that I truly love, which is the Tomlin family for the Sims 4 Tiny Living Stuff Pack, which is crazy to think about because that literally came out of nowhere. But the fact that we're getting it tomorrow is mind-blowing. But also the cool thing about this pack is that we got more male clothing than female clothing. And I, for one, have always been waiting for that moment to say those words. We got more male clothing than female clothing because in every single pack that we get in anything in The Sims 4, there's always more female content, which I'm okay with. But I've always felt like, our males were like neglected and weren't like, an oversight when it comes to clothing and extra stuff for them to do. But in this case, we got some stuff for them, which I'm happy about. So hopefully we get more stuff like this in the distant future for males. And I just have to say, I love making Sims so much, and I was going to originally do a sit down, talk to talk type of video, but I felt like it was not me and I didn't like how I recorded it. So I just went ahead and actually made a creative sim out of it, and this is what I got, and I'm just doing the whole voiceover right now. And I'm making these two Sims named Brielle, Tomlin and Bradford Tomlin, which are two Sims for my current household save file with Larissa Roberts. You probably saw a creative sim of her already a couple days ago, link down below. But either way, I do have to say that with these two Sims, they are in desperate need of a micro tiny home, which might be a very, very difficult time to build for me because micro is very, very small, but I can do it. Trust me, I can do anything as long as I put it out into the universe. So, for this stuff pack for Creative Sim wise, there are actually quite a few items for the females and males combined. But there are actually 4 female hairs, and then there are actually 2 male hairs, but you can just take off the feminine filter and have it vice versa, whichever you want to do for your Sims. And then I, for one, really like the female hairs just because I like them both, but the female hair that Briella, could not pronounce the name to save my life, but the female hair that she's currently wearing in the thumbnail has to be hands one of my all-time favorites because it's very modern, very sleek, just very swoopy, a very modern haircut. And for some reason, I feel like I've seen someone have this exact same haircut in real life, but I don't know who. The name escapes me, but this hairstyle looks freaking good in my opinion. And then I actually saw SimGuru Ninja post a picture on Twitter, I think 2 days ago or yesterday, I'm not really sure. But he actually recreated who was formerly SimGuru Kate in The Sims using one of the new hairstyles that they got with the Tiny Living Stuff Pack, and it looks so cool. And I like the little curlies, the little curly cues. So stylized. It looks so good. Even especially, I'm in Creative Sim right now in my game because that's what I do. But the way the hair looks is like so good looking in my opinion. I don't know why. I just love Creative Sim, and I feel like I don't have anything bad to say about Creative Sim because that's like my genuine, feelings about it. So I like hairs, I like the clothing, I like how it's stylized, but in my opinion, I feel like it could kind of match with Discovery University because what I noticed is that when you put Discovery University and Tiny Living together with clothing and hair and how just basically how they look, especially with the objects, you can see like the similarity to them. With my eyes, I can see like the similarity of both of them. And I don't know who was making this art, but shout out to whoever the art devs, art team, art people who make these clothes for the Tiny Living and Discovery University and all the other packs. But these two though, Tiny Living, Discovery University, keep it up. Quality over quantity. I love this. I love the style. I just love the clothing, the little buttons, the little subtle touch to it is like nice and cozy. And I've noticed that we've been getting a lot more sweaters than normal. And I've also noticed in real life in my own closet, I got too many sweaters, so The Sims is basically taking over my life, and that's okay. And I'm okay with that. The more sweaters, the better, even though sometimes it's never sweater weather in the Midwest because we have bipolar weather every 5 seconds. But other than that, though, that's the tea. But right now, I'm making a Bradford Tomlin right now, and he came out really well with the way I was making him. And not gonna lie, when I was making these Sims, I was half asleep. It was 2 a.m. I kind of fell asleep when making Bradford a little bit. Like towards the end, there was a little bit of a pause. And I'm like, I fell asleep, woke back up, and I'm like, oh snap, I'm still recording. Let me like finish him up real quick. And yeah, that happened. Never stay up until 3 a.m. It's not a good thing. Always go to bed early so you won't be like me and forget that you're recording. Yeah. Never do that. Either way, like I said, the male hairs, we got 2 of them, but you can always take off the feminine the filter and do however you want. And I really like how he came out with like the new presets I got from Tumblr a couple days ago, or actually no, about like a month ago, I'm pretty sure. Either way, I like how I made his nose. I don't know why. I've been playing around with a lot of presets lately in my game, and I really like how it's just coming all together, in my opinion. Oh, I love it. Anyway, but the males got some new clothing, which I, for one, am very, very happy about because they got more, like I said, more clothing than females. Pretty great, pretty dandy. And we got a couple new sweaters, actually. And for some reason, they look like a mixture of cats and dogs and Discovery University a little bit because there's actually 6 new tops for the males, and then the last top that we got with them reminds me of cats and dogs a little bit. I don't know why, but it just has that vibe. Maybe a little bit, cats and dogs, Discovery University, and Tiny Living could all work well with this because you can technically make a tiny a tiny university student home in a way, and or you can make a single sim living in a tiny micro home or whatever with a pet or a baby. I don't know. You could literally do so much with a tiny living stuff pack. There's like a lot of opportunities and a lot of opportunities with the stuff pack because you could literally make anything you want in this game with a pack that has a distinct theme and it gives you ideas on what to make. Perfect. So I love that. So I don't know what else to talk about in this video because I feel like I ramble. Oh, I can talk about their traits. That's right. This is not a normal review. I'm just a bit of a weenie, and that's okay. But since with the Tiny Living Stuff Pack, was inspired to make new Sims for my current household save file with Larissa because she is a freelance botanist and she needs friends, to hang out with and start a club because I want her to have a club based off of her own personal hobbies and also her values of what she wants to have a club with, and especially when she makes her what's it called her flower shop in honor of her mother Margaret in the future when she gets that money. So she wants to be able to have friends by her side to help her grow her business or help promote it, or just to hang out with on occasion, especially in the future when she gets married or have kids or whatever. And so that's why I made Bright Ella and Bradford Tomlin, newlywed couple living in a tiny home in Oasis Springs, literally a couple blocks away from Larissa, and that's okay. And Ella and Bradford had the idea. He's like, we're newlyweds. Let's, have some kids or whatever. Yeah. So Ella, she has the aspiration of a big happy family, family-orientated, art lover, and cheerful. And then for Bradford, yeah, he is a freelance botanist, which is great. He's outgoing, a genius, and he also loves the outdoors. And they both actually completed university at the University of Britechester because that's where they kind of went for their time of education, which is super, super cool in my opinion. And when they moved and got married, they were thinking maybe since for our first home, we want to live in a tiny home and see where life takes us. And if we have a kid while we're in that tiny home, we'll make it work. We'll see how it works and we'll go from there. And I think that's kind of a cool idea to think about that, you know, don't go full head on with buying a big giant expensive house or a tiny home or whatever. Start small and use what you have and go along with it. And that is what these two Sims are doing. And that is why they're going to be living in a tiny home literally tomorrow. And so that is basically the story, and that's kind of like their life goal. They want to start a family, but they don't have a lot of money, and they want to start small and see where life takes them for the rest of their lives. And that is basically my Creative Sim overview for the Tiny Living Stuff Pack with the story, with me rambling, but that's the gist. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please go ahead and let me know down in the comments below of your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas on the Tiny Living Stuff Pack. What do you like? What do you dislike? Let me know. I really want to start a conversation about this just because I like talking a lot, and I feel like it'd be kind of a good way to kind of get all of our ideas, our opinions, and stuff like that out from our body into the world of the internet, which is probably a bad idea, but that's okay. Your opinion is validated. That's all you need to know. But either way, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!